We begin here this hour. The water problems that have been plaguing several areas in Gauteng are also being experienced by Umhlanga residents in KwaZulu-Natal. Water outages in Umhlanga and Durban North areas entered day 5 on Friday, leaving businesses, call centres, hotels and other vital sectors under immense stress. Water supplies were interrupted due to low pressure in parts of the main northern pipeline. Let's get an update right now. We're joined by Ednick Msweli, who's head of EThekwini Water and Sanitation. Thank you so much for your time, Ednick. We do appreciate it. What is actually going on? Because there have been days of reports of no water supply. What's happening?
No, good evening, Heidi, and good evening to the viewers at home. It has been a challenging 5-6 days for us. And what's made this time around unique is the fact that the cause of the problem has been much more difficult to identify. Ordinarily, you would have bursts leading to supply interruptions, and the burst pipe is much easier to see because on the surface. When our teams walk, they can visually identify that. But this time around, with the problems we're experiencing, the problems are not visual because it's restrictions in the networks. So a restriction can happen because an air valve has been damaged, or it's been vandalized, or it's been broken, and that causes you to lose part of your capacity of your pipelines. So we don't know whether it's that, or in fact we have identified two that we have fixed. I must not say we don't know, because we've identified some, but we don't think it's all of them. There's probably more that we need to identify and repair. So that's made it a bit difficult because we just can't get to all of them, or identify all of them and know this is where our problem is. So it can be that, or it can be a valve that is broken in a closed position, whereby the gate will drop. So when all those things happen, they happen inside your pipeline, so you can't see. So this is why it's taken us this long, 5 days, trying to locate where the problem is. But I think we are making progress, but we really are not out of the woods yet, where we can say that with what stage water is going to be fully restored. But we are working. We've been working non-stop. Even tonight, our guys are on the field as I speak to you now, sort of still looking and repairing what we've identified.
Are you able to tell us if, in fact, law enforcement agencies have been asked to investigate the possibility of sabotage and vandalism?
Yes, we've done that, and it's good that you're asking that, because the public has just come to know of this incident in Umhlanga. About a month ago, we had a similar incident that was affecting the CBD, and the same thing had happened there, where our air valves had been vandalized, and that affected quite a large part of the city. Fortunately, those were the big ones. It was the big installations that we were able to identify quickly and repair those particular air valves. So it didn't take long because we were able to identify quickly. So we are now looking at this trend. It happened in the CBD, now it's happening in Umhlanga. We started to say, is there something more to it? We at this stage, we cannot conclusively say it's that, because I think we require this to be investigated. So we've opened a case with the SAPS, and we hope that they will investigate this and advise us accordingly.
What happens in your meeting that is planned, if I'm not mistaken, for 6:30, and residents watching are desperate to get water? You're telling me that you're still trying to figure out what's causing all of this. When can we expect restoration of water? Are you able to give a time frame, or will you be able to determine this once you actually know what the problem is, because you don't actually know at this point what's causing the water outage?
Yeah, well, the truth of the matter is that you identify a blockage and you repair it. And at that time you think, well, maybe this is it. Once I've repaired this blockage, the water will start flowing. And then you only know after you open the water again that, okay, it means there's another blockage somewhere else. When you look at the volumes that you are pushing at that time, that they are not where you want them to be. I can communicate that right now there is a blockage that we've identified, two air valves, the big two air valves that our teams are currently repairing. Our assessment is that could be it, but I don't know. We're working non-stop. The water would start flowing. But in the event that there's another blockage after that, then certainly then I can't tell you exactly when it would be. But I'm very hopeful that what we are dealing with now is very close to the actual cause of the problem.
Okay, I have to ask you one last question, if you can please just be brief. I'm trying to understand, because I find this to be a little bit confusing, and I'm sure residents feel the same. Are you telling me that every time something is fixed, it seems as though another problem arises? So you cannot rule out the issue of sabotage at this particular point, can you?
No, I cannot rule out sabotage, because when we started, the first two air valves that we had were not vandalized, they were not broken. They were merely closed. So that for me is very close to sabotage. Why would anybody do that? And also it has to be somebody that knows how our system works. So yeah, it's for that reason that we really do think there's an element of sabotage.
Okay, well, that's very concerning, but hopefully we'll get an update from you as and when your emergency meeting is concluded. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. That was Ednick Msweli, who is head of EThekwini Water and Sanitation. Unfortunately, there is no time frame on when water will be restored in areas such as Umhlanga and Durban North.